take two, because the video I just made for y'all is completely out of focus, even though I pulled focus for it. It's just the kind of day I'm having. Alright you guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's hope this one works out for me today, because I can't do this again! Last week was super fun. I got pretty personal with y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. I know you did. Before I get into today's video, gonna do the whole subscribe to my channel type thing. So yeah, please do. Hit that little red subscribe button and also that bell right next to it, because then you will get notified when I make new videos and you can click on it and watch them right away. Also, hit that little thumbs up. That always means so much to me and helps me know who likes my freaking videos. Do you like it? Because if you do, give it a thumbs up. Today's video, I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to talk to you about zero waste products that I regret buying. And you heard that right, regret buying. Not because I don't use them, but because I find that buying something new was completely useless. So I'm gonna give you a little spiel, let you know what I find personally that I found was useless. So this is definitely more of an opinionated video rather than facts video. Some people might find these materials really great, really helpful for them and their zero waste lifestyle. So this video is completely 100% opinionated only. So let's get started. The first thing that I found to be an extreme waste of my time on buying was these guys. My freaking fork, knife, and spoon. So when I first became zero waste, I mean, even before I was zero waste, I didn't really eat takeout very often. So plastic utensils was never really an issue for me. These guys were a great alternative, but did you ever think about just using your metal reusable utensils that you have at home? Because I didn't when I bought these. So for me, I was just like, okay, I barely use this. I don't really get takeout. And if I do use it, which is very rare, then I could just honestly get a cloth napkin from my house and bring my own utensils from home rather than buying something new. So to me, this is extremely useless. I don't really use it very often. I could always just bring my own fork, knife, and spoon whenever I go other places. Another thing, and I do use this, don't think that I don't use these things. I use this a lot. And this is my reusable stainless steel 16-ounce cup. I reuse this for whenever I go out places, like if I go to a bar and they have plastic cups, which is really rare. I always go to the bars that I know that have reusable glassware and stuff like that. But the only time I do find that I'm using this is when I go to La Colombe to get a cup of coffee or something, because I only ever get iced coffee and their draft latte is like the freaking titties. But yeah, the only time I ever use this is to really go to La Colombe and get coffee. And I have 20 16-ounce glass mason jars in my house. So instead of going out and buying a stainless steel 16-ounce cup, I could just bring along my 16-ounce mason jar with me. But I will say, glass isn't the best, as we all know. So if you don't like bringing glass around, then this is a really great alternative. But for me, I don't really get coffee very often. I don't really use this for when I go out. It's just me personally, I don't find that I use this very often. So I just kind of found it to be a little bit of a waste for me to buy. If I wanted to go get a cup of coffee, I could just bring my mason jar from home. That's how often I go and get coffee. Very rarely. So yeah, to me, I just found this to be a little silly and a little more about the aesthetic rather than the whole reasoning behind it. Another thing that I found is completely insane is the amount of reusable bags that I have. When I first started zero waste, I just bought reusable bags all the time. I would always forget my bag. Everywhere I went, I was like, shit, I forgot my bag. Sorry, I cursed. Whoopsies! But I just always bought a reusable bag. Every single time I went out, I bought another bag, and now I have so many of them. Literally so many of them. And I don't even know what to do with all of them. So for me, I'm just so upset with myself for just continuously buying reusable bags over and over again. And that is not a zero waste lifestyle. You are supporting a company that is producing mass amounts of reusable bags and you're just constantly buying them over and over and over again. So essentially, you are increasing their sales. And we don't want to do that. Again, we want to be reducing and minimalizing the amount of stuff that we're purchasing, and secondhand is always best, you know, stuff like that. So the fact that I was just buying reusable bags like over and over again, it just kind of defeated the whole purpose of being zero waste. So now I'm stuck with all these reusable bags, and I use like maybe 2 or 3 of them out of like the 25, 30 that I have. I think this is the last thing. No, I have 2 more things. Mason jars. So when I first started my zero waste journey, I went out and bought like so many mason jars from like Michael's, AC Moore, because they had all different shapes and sizes and whatever that are not packaged. So, because I wanted to start shopping in bulk, and I was like, yeah, I need jars. But I wish I didn't do that. Like, I wish I just used the materials that I had in my home before I did that. Because things like, I love pickles, so you know, like I have pickles in glass jars, or pasta sauce, or like dressings, or anything that essentially comes in a glass jar. Like, you can just reuse that rather than going out and buying a jar. And I know like Pinterest and Instagram paints this like beautiful aesthetic of what zero waste looks like, but really, like, come on, zero waste on a budget, like less buying things. Like, we don't all have perfect mason jars for everything. So yeah, I wish I did that. So I have the mason jars that I do have, that I did buy, but I am continuously starting to buy more and more things in bulk as I run out of other things. So I just reuse jars that I had. It's really just, you know, just about reusing what you have in your home and not buying all these crazy things, you know. And I just bought so many mason jars, and it was such a waste of money and such a waste of resources. So I just kind of wish I thought about that a little bit more before buying all these mason jars. And then the last thing that I know a lot of people will be shocked to hear is I really regret buying metal straws. So bear with me, like, let me kind of talk you through why I feel this way. So I use my metal straws sometimes. I don't use them very often. I don't use them at home. Sometimes I'll just throw one in my water just because they're there, but really I don't need them. Like, I may just want one, but I don't need them. I'm totally fine without one. So for me, the metal straw is more for people that like to drink out of straws, of course, and I'm just not that type of person. Like, I don't mind going out to a restaurant and requesting no straw and drinking from the glass. If I have a metal straw in my bag, I will take it out and I will use it probably, but it's not something that I really needed. And I have so many of them. Like, I have like 10 of them. And if I wanted to get a metal straw, great. Like, I had one, that's all I really needed. So the fact that I have like all these different kinds of metal straws, shapes and sizes for all different types of drinks, like, could be great for someone. But for me personally, I don't need a straw that bad that I find that I need these metal straws all the time. So I kind of regret just buying some of those. Some of them were given to me, some of them I bought, whatever, like whatever the reasoning was. I just kind of wish I didn't buy as many as I did. So yeah, like little video today for you guys, just kind of show, like letting you know a couple of things that I do regret buying that make me zero waste, but these materials don't actually make me zero waste. In my opinion and in my lifestyle, I could have chosen other options and other alternatives, and I didn't actually need to buy any of these things. It was just more, again, for the aesthetic reasoning that I went out and bought it in this whole like zero waste lifestyle that made me believe that I needed to buy these things in order to become zero waste. But really, I could have used so many other options and alternatives to choose zero waste lifestyle over buying these things, if that makes sense. So yeah, this video is just completely opinionated, totally about my lifestyle, and these are things that I found do not really benefit me zero waste wise. I could have done without them and still continue my zero waste lifestyle. If you guys have any questions, again, please let me know in the comments below. I will have my website, which is my blog, and my Instagram linked below. You can always contact me there, send me a message on any of those. And again, please don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and the little bell right next to it. Again, you will get notified whenever I make new videos. That way you don't have to keep checking back like every day, because I know you want to see my videos all the time. I'm just kidding. Thank you guys again for joining me today, and I will see you next week.